Welcome to the podcast Mining Matters, where you can dig a little deeper into developing your English speaking skills as a mining or minerals processing industry professional with me, Kirsten. Each month I will dive into one topical issue affecting the mining and the mineral processing industries. You can listen to a short discussion of the topic by me, and then I will explore some of the background of the vocabulary and the grammar that I chose to use. You can then develop your own discussion of the topic and use these examples to deepen your understanding and bring you closer to English fluency. Now you can choose to record yourself at home and keep the recordings as a record to observe your own improvement. Or you could join my speaking program, get some personal and private feedback from me, while joining in some lively and insightful conversations with other industry processing professionals. I promise you will see your skills transform in ways you never expected, while having fun. Now check out my website in the link for more information about the speaking program and to see if it is right for you. If it is not, I am glad you could join me anyway, and I hope you find the support and motivation you were looking for here. Last episode, we left off with the announcement of the closure of FQM's Cobre Copper Mine. Now, Panama's mining sector is small, but it holds significant potential for growth. Mineral resources that have been identified include approximately 50 billion pounds of copper reserves, 12 million ounces of gold, 25,000 ounces of silver, and 250 tons of molybdenum. Now, like most countries, Panama's national constitution determines that all mineral deposits are the property of the state and may only be exploited or mined by means of concessions. And if you remember from the last episode, a concession is an operating license. The regulator of this industry in Panama is the Ministry of Commerce, and they manage the process using the National Directorate of Mineral Resources. The Code of Mineral Resources focuses only on metallic and non-metallic minerals. Other natural resources, such as hydrocarbons, so petrochemicals, they're regulated separately. Now, currently, the only operating mines in Panama are 2 or 3 gold mining sites. And environmental activists have been really active lately. Since 2021, protests have ramped up and they are strongly targeting all mining operations in Panama. With the announcement of the closure of the Cobre Mine, the activists have been celebrating the ruling, saying that they are preventing 20 years of environmental damage to Panama's jungles. Serena Van Vass, speaking together with the Foundation My Sea, says, "Today, Panama celebrates a historic moment that we have been waiting for years. At first, there were only a few of us, but now we all understand that Panama's gold is green." Now, she's not alone. Lillian Guevara at the Environmental Advocacy Center also has spoken and said that the protests and the results served as a referendum on the environmental future of Panama. I quote, "The people of Panama have decided we don't want to be a mining company. Instead of sacrificing the most precious and valuable thing we have for a few million in royalties, let's instead develop a model of sustainable development." But is saying a firm no to mining really the best outcome, both from an economic and an environmental perspective? FQM has warned that the closure of the Cobre Panama mine will have unforeseen environmental consequences that were not taken into account by Panama's Supreme Court ruling. They warn that suspending the mining contract with the state can jeopardize conservation programs funded by the company. They report that the protection of nearly 20% of the total protected areas in Panama is funded by the Cobre Panama mine, and that this must be considered. This will extend to the future of rehabilitation, reforestation, and species conservation programs. Look, this is all a very new and definitely an active situation. FQM has said it is requesting additional details regarding the rulings and its implications. They also added that they are aware that the Panamanian president has said that there will be a transition process for the mine's closure, and this process will be clarified and defined in time. This closure has happened rapidly, and FQM has stressed that the Supreme Court decision did not take into account a planned and managed closure scenario, and that this is vital to ensure that environmental measures are taken into account. In particular, they point to the handling of tailings, storage ponds, and water treatment. There will need to be active management to prevent breaches with future rainfall events. And let's face it, Panama is in a tropical environment and water management is challenging. A further aspect that does contribute to the lack of clarity around the future of this situation is that FQM have confirmed they have initiated an arbitration process. So on November 14, they notified the Panamanian Ministry of Commerce and Industry of their intention to initiate arbitration proceedings to enforce their rights under international law in accordance with the Canada-Panama Free Trade Agreement. And on November 29, they confirmed that they have initiated arbitration proceedings before the International Court of Arbitration in order to protect their rights under the 2023 concession agreement approved by the Panamanian government early this year. I think we will see this situation drag on for years. The resolution will be slow. It will be very messy. And that's where I'm going to leave today's podcast episode. And in the next episode, we'll dive into where do we go from here? What's the way forward for FQM in Panama, but in a global context? Where to from here for FQM, but also where to from here for Panama, for the economy, for environmental activism, for the industry of mining. I hope to see you there.